Hey, Coach, what was for David? What was the biggest difference in the second half, and how big was he for you guys?
Oh, he was huge. He did great the second half. He, as poor as he was to start the game, he was that good to start the second half. I was proud of him. I thought he did some good things. I thought defensively, other than a couple of plays, I thought his ball screen defense was better. Uh, we didn't do much to help him behind the initial ball screen defense early, but I thought he did great. It's we got to figure out a way to make those uncontested easy baskets early in the game. But to play that poorly offensively to start the game, and you look up and we're down 3 or whatever, I thought that was a big improvement. And then we kind of guarded the first half, and the second half we probably didn't guard as well, but the lid came off and we shot the ball a lot better. But I thought David did. I thought he did really well.
Do you have any idea how it can flip so quickly for a guy like that? I mean, to struggle in the first. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was easier for him to flip it than it would be most players, because he had a big size advantage, and we knew that that's what we wanted to do, was throw it to him. So he had opportunities to flip it, where I think sometimes guards, it's harder to get it flipped if you don't get as many easy touches as what he had. But I was happy and proud of him. We got to figure out, and you guys know this every bit as well as I do, but we got to figure out how to play better early. I mean, we had an opportunity. I told our guys, we're up 3. We should have been up 12 at halftime. Now they could probably say the same thing with some of the screw ups they had, but I mean, you talk about unforced errors, and they stole the ball from us a few times, but it was more from us just throwing it to them rather than them pressuring us. But there were some good things for a team really pressing and playing tight. And as much as you say played loose and everything, it's easier said than done. So sometimes you just got to embrace it. Say, okay, if we're going to be tight, let's just guard the heck out of people and don't worry about offense. And we had some goals that we wanted to do defensively, and we matched those goals. And so the offense wasn't quite as a big a factor, or it didn't stand out as much on us being inefficient, because we did guard and we did rebound on the other end.
What were the goals?
That's just that's between our team, but we talked about it and had some goals, and I think the guys, I'll have to watch tape, but I think they met those without question tonight.
Other than a handful, those couple tags early on the rolls, how did you think you guys executed on that on the defensive end?
I thought, to be honest, the first half I didn't think we were very good at all. It's not as complicated as what we made it, and you got so much respect for Cade, so we tried to trap him off ball screens and actually did a good job and kept him out of the paint. And and when Marcus was guarding him and we were doing that, then he really didn't shoot many shots behind the ball screens. So he obviously did when Marcus wasn't switched up on him, but when somebody else was switched up on him. But I thought our ball screen defense after the first 5 minutes was pretty good.
Bill, what did you think of Cade's performance, and did you hear the students chant?
Yeah, I love our student body, and I think that we have a ridiculously bright student body, and average ACT score maybe 31. I don't know, but that's one area that I don't think that they probably scored well, because that kid is not overrated. That kid is good, but it's just kids being kids. But yeah, he's really good, and he makes others better, and he makes the game easier for everybody else.
Coach, you've talked about Marcus doesn't care if he scores. He's said that too. We've heard him say that a lot. What is his role for your team right now? Because it looks like sometimes you need him to score, at least in spurts.
Well, they gapped the zone, so we had to get the ball to the high post, and that's how he scored the majority of the points. And it's when you have to be the guy to pass it, it's hard to be the guy to catch it sometimes. And I thought that we did a pretty good job in the 4, 5, or 6 possessions we got him the ball off the high post of other people feeding it to him and playing behind that. So, he should have scored the ball the first half, because that was what he does, and he got the ball to his spots, and that's where he's at his best. But I thought he defended. I thought if it wasn't for Marcus in the first half, I mean, we couldn't, That's why I told our guys. I mean, we really didn't have any individuals play particularly well except for him the first half, and we're still up 3. So if we can get 3 or 4 more guys joining him, then we have a chance to look pretty good the second half, and that's what happened.
Hey, Coach, do you think player points and stats matter right now, or is everyone literally just playing to win?
I don't think they. Well, first of all, I'm a guy that has never put any emphasis on that anyway, at all. So even though bigs need to get points and rebounds, they do that. I could care less about assist as far as numbers, because you're making the right play, and sometimes the right play doesn't lead to an assist. But I've never been one to worry about shooting percentages. But I'll be honest with you, guys should be playing to win, and if they're worried about individual stats, and those are very selfish thoughts. And so I certainly hope that's not the case. And I thought even though we passed it very poorly tonight, I didn't think we played selfish by any stretch.
Hey, Bill, what's the significance of these next 2 games against Iowa State?
Yeah, I think it's probably the 2 biggest games on our schedule. Thus far, without question. We're 7-5 in the league, and second place is 7-4 or 6-3. So we're not out of second place by any stretch, but you got to play well from this point forward. We got 7-5, so we got 6 games left, and these are important games. I've never played a back-to-back deal before, so obviously, there'll be a few minor adjustments for the second game, I would think, but this is as big as it gets for us this year, to determine if we have a chance to finish second in our league, which that's a realistic goal, but certainly we got to play well against everybody moving forward, and certainly can't stub our toe at home. But it's big for us, so we got to take care of business and be focused and ready to play. I think tonight did wonders for us from a confidence and kind of getting the monkey off our back, so to speak, though.
Hey, Dave seems like really a team first guy, but is he beginning to see he can maybe put the team on his back a little bit for stretches?
Well, first of all, that is a team first guy. Yeah. I don't think that I don't think anybody that scores a lot of points or whatever, that does not mean any way, shape, or form that they're not a team first guy. And the team first guys are doing what's best for the team, and what's best for the team is David, looking to score and us playing through him. So, although he was very poor the first half, but the second half he showed us during about a 6 or 8 minute stretch that he was the best. Well, I would say probably not the best player in the game, but he was certainly the second best player in the game. I thought for the vast majority of the second half.
Anything else for Coach?
Yeah.
So, did you have to mention not being ranked to the team? Marcus said it was something they wanted to win, the day they weren't ranked, but he didn't make it sound like it was a real big deal. I mean,
I got to be honest with you, Gary. I never mentioned to the guys about not being ranked. So maybe they talked amongst themselves, or other coaches mentioned to them, but I didn't say one thing about not being ranked today. We don't deserve to be ranked. Now, we would deserve to be ranked if we play well from this point forward, but I didn't say one thing about it. I also say that of our 7 losses, all of them are ranked. So it's been a hard schedule without question, but that was good tonight to get a tier 1 win, and at least I believe it's a tier 1 win. I haven't seen the latest net, but I didn't make a big deal of it. When you stop and think about it, though, and you think about all the great programs out there that have had great runs. I mean, great runs, and everybody talks about how successful that program is and anything, but to think that nobody in the history of basketball has ever been as consistent or done what our guys have done over a course of 11 years. It's unbelievable, or almost 12 years, if I'm not mistaken. It's unbelievable, and it's a credit to all the players and so many good ones. So the fact that it's a big deal that we're not ranked is something I don't like, but it's also pretty cool because there's nobody else that's ever, no school that's ever done what we've done from a consistency standpoint as far as being in the game year in and year out like this team has.
Hey, Bill.
Like this program has, not this team.
Hey, Marcus's free throw shooting this year, it's up more than 20 percentage points. What do you attribute that to?
Scott, he practices them. I think he's a better shooter than he was last year. I don't know that I would attribute anything specifically other than the fact that maybe concentration's a little better or whatnot. But that's a question that I can't answer. I can't answer that.
Yeah, well, maybe this will be a little better. Do you have a guy in mind maybe who's made the biggest jump in terms of as a free throw shooter under you? Anyone that sticks out like that?
I think that Udoka had the biggest opportunity to make a huge jump. So that would be probably my answer on that. So I'm sure there has been, but I don't. What is he shooting close to 80?
He's over 80, 83, I think.
Yeah, for the year. What's he in league? I think league may be just as good or better.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that.
But the bottom line is, as good as he shot it, I think David's actually shot it better in league than what Marcus has. So we've had some guys, CB shot the ball the best of anybody in league play, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's only missed one or two. Jalen needs to shoot it more consistently, but our starters have been pretty good free throw shooters in league play, at least based on what I can recall.